all of your forwarding and freight shipping needs. We at Trin Forwarding International are committed to product delivery. At Trin Forwarding, we have the much needed experience, professionalism, and due diligence in freight forwarding, shipping, and cargoes. We deliver with timeliness and precision. You can reach out to us at our Caribbean office in Trinidad and Tobago, telephone number 868-624-6250, or our Florida USA office at 305-887-9725.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Global Issues on Alhikmat TV 24/7 online. Today we are very blessed to have with us on today's show Sister Amany Shalabi. Welcome to the show, Sister Amany.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Wonderful. It's a blessing to have you with us. And Sister Amany Shalabi, for viewers out there, is a faculty member at the University of Sufism, and her profession is Islamic Studies and Chaplaincy Training. So stay tuned as we talk to Sister Amany Shalabi.
Alhikmat Services Florida USA invites you to join our tour from Miami to Turkey to Medina and Mecca, plus Umrah Ramadan, which is equivalent to the blessings of Hajj. They will be visiting historical sites of the Ottoman Empire, plus the Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, Topkapi Palace, plus more sacred sites. Breakfast and dinner will be included, but not the cost of visas. It will be from March 2nd, 2024 to March 13th, 2024, and led by Shaikh Shafayat. The price is yet to be announced, but for more information, you can contact Alhikmat office at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158. You can also email at alhikmat@alhikmat.com. Alhamdulillah, for free copies of the Holy Quran, contact Alhikmat Caribbean office at 1-868-325-8276. You can also follow us on Alhikmat TV, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. For more information, you can also contact Alhikmat's Florida USA office. You can visit our website at www.alhikmat.com or call us at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158.
Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, His throne extends over the heaven.
It's savings and big discounts when you shop at Fens nationwide. Upgrade your home or treat yourself to something special. Enjoy store-wide savings on furniture, appliances, electronics, bedroom, and so much more when you shop at Fens of Marbella, Chaguanas, Pinal, and Piaco. Visit us in-store for more information or call 650-FENS, that's 650-3367, or check us out on Facebook, Fens of Trinidad and Tobago, serving generations.
So, Sister Amany, tell us a little bit about your background before we get into this whole profession and what you do and the upcoming event, etc. Please let our viewers know worldwide a little bit of your background and where you're from and maybe what got you involved in Sufism, etc. So I will get into, as you talk, I will ask questions in between so our viewers will have a better understanding of what's going on, inshallah.
Inshallah. So I grew up in Egypt, Cairo, but I have been living in the United States for 30 years now.
How many?
And 30 years.
Wow, subhanallah.
Yes. I was graduated as an electronic engineer from Cairo University, and I have worked as a computer programmer over there for about 5-6 years. When I came here, I didn't work because I have young children. But I came an activist in the masjid, the local masjid, and when 9/11 happened, I started to participate in interfaith dialogues, and my passion became in religion. So I actually have a postgraduate diploma in Islamic studies. I decided to further my studies. So I have a postgraduate diploma in Islamic studies from the Islamic College of Advanced Studies in London, and that was distance learning program. Then I had obtained a master's degree in comparative philosophy. And during my studies, I have gone into a little difficult time. I was going through divorce, and that is when my heart opened to Sufism through online dialogue with someone who was already on that path. And I felt it offer for me more spiritual support that I needed and a deeper understanding of Islam. So, and in the college that I was studying, I also learned about all school of thoughts, including Sufism. So during my studies, Allah opened for me a chance to work as an interpreter and a translator for a Sufi Sheikh who was an Imam in Al Masjid Al Aqsa, Allah yarhamu, that is Sidi Muhammad Al Jamal, Rifa'i Shazili. He was the Imam Masjid Al Aqsa, and he will come here the path about Sufism and Islam, and to also counsel them in a personal level about their life problems. And under his instructions, the University of Sufism was established, and he asked me to teach on it. And when he passed away a few years ago, I was looking what I am going to work. So many people said I can be a good chaplain. So I joined a chaplaincy training program in Advent Health to study clinical chaplaincy, which basically I was trained in a hospital how to counsel people spiritually. So after that, I came with a program, and that program called Universal Chaplaincy. And I teach people how to manage their emotion, how to deepen their spirituality. And I teach part of it through the University of Sufism. And I also counsel people in the personal level.
That is interesting.
Brief background.
That is very, very interesting, Sister Amany Shalabi. So, chaplaincy training, you were saying that you train people to become chaplains?
Yes.
So where do they offer their services after they are trained with you and by you?
So I'm teaching part of the program through the ministry program in the University of Sufism. So we teach people, for example, how to deal with loss and death and grieving, how to deal with one's own fear of death and things like that. But at the same time, I work part-time as a chaplain with Muslim women organization, where I train women who are active in the masajid, where the local women come to them for help for problems such as divorce or domestic abuse, or just grieving or dealing with parenting issue, whatever it is. So they come to those women for help, and those women, they are not trained. So we took upon ourselves training them professionally how to respond. And so that is part of what I do. So people also reach to me personally, in a personal level, to counsel them spiritually.
That is wonderful, subhanallah. So tell our viewers a little bit about this event that is coming up here in South Florida, this Unity Peace Prayer, or that special spiritual program that you all are having. Could you share that with our viewers, please?
Sure. So when Sidi Muhammad al-Jamal was alive, he established these communities, including the Unity Peace Prayers, which is a community in South Florida mainly, but also around the state. So we do an annual, what we call, and we gather people who are already following the path or those who are uh, interested to learn about our path. We invite everyone, it's open to everyone, regardless of their religious background. And we gather there, and usually there is a theme we choose. So for this time, I think Dr. Jaffe will talk about his own lecture, which is Shams al-Haqiqa al-Qudsiyya, like the light or the sun of reality. And for me, I will be teaching about the holy women and how they bring that light. So we are inspired by several women in our heritage and in the prophetic lineage that can give us a role model or examples of how to deal with different problems that the human being faces in life. So I will be teaching about the need to bring that feminine spirit, which basically have the rahmah of Allah, have the mercy of Allah, how our world is in need of it these days. We need that kind of motherly compassion and mercy in communicating with one another and in finding our way to that enlightenment or that truth of having connection, direct connection to Allah.
So tell us, what motivated you to get into Sufism?
Because Sufism is about a spiritual experience, having a true spiritual experience. So in Islam, for example, the first pillar of Islam is called a shahada, to bear witness that there is only one God. So we can bear witness intellectually, but we can also bear witnessing by experiencing something. Experiencing the divine presence in our life and directly connecting to Allah. And that has to do with two things: the practice of dhikr, which is the remembrance of Allah, and fikr, which is reflection and contemplation and meditation. So, for example, if we meditate, sit to meditate in nature and do the dhikr of Allah, the remembrance of Allah, we will start to notice something we may not notice in our daily busy life. For example, we can notice how when you put like a seed, you see Allah's generosity that brings for you a whole tree. So you start to see the divine attributes or the divine qualities manifesting through the ayat of Allah, through the signs that Allah created or the exhibition that He created for us to see. You start to see the divine quality of protection. How, for example, plants protect themselves. Some through having thorns, some through having odor, some can, when touched, they close. You start to see in animals, some protect themselves through camouflage, some through running or hiding. All of this exhibition of the quality of protection that Allah gifted His creation with. And so in seeing that, one can start to also trust Allah's protection and see that all forms comes and goes, but only the quality of protection that is eternal and always exhibited in the universe. In doing so, we start to also feel that Allah gave me mechanisms of protection and He's always with me. So I start to feel the divine presence a little more. And I start to receive directly from Allah inspiration, guidance of what to do to manage my life challenges and problems. I may also receive visions, for example, such as dreams, and I can learn how to interpret it. I can learn about my emotions and how they are gateways to know Allah through them. For example, every emotion is mentioned in the Quran have 7 degrees And we need to pay attention to the subtleties of the Quran words. And we know that these are gateways. For example, fear is a gateway to know what courage is. But sometimes we get stuck in the fear. So, how can we get unstuck? So, there is more of a direct experience of the divine qualities that can strengthen you to conquer the fear and find the courage. So basically, the path of Sufism means to purify your heart and yourself in order to gain that clarity of witnessing Allah and the clarity of directly connecting to Allah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so we got to go on a short break, Sister Amany Shalabi. And when we come back, we want to, find out for the benefit of our viewers, how do people get in contact with you, and if they could, and if they should, as the case may be, to get spiritual guidance, spiritual advice, learn about Sufism, etc. So when we come back after the short break, we want to touch a little bit on those points. So to our viewers out there, stay tuned. When we come back, we will continue this conversation with Sister Amany Shalabi. Very, very, very blessed sister indeed, very unique in Sufism, etc. She's a faculty member of the University of Sufism, and she's an expert in Islamic studies and chaplaincy training. So stay tuned. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with Sister Amany Shalabi, inshallah.
South Florida Umrah, November 23rd to December 3rd, 2023, led by Shaikh Shafayat, Imam Azhar Subidar, and Imam Zaid Sharif. 2 persons per room cost $29.95, 3 persons per room cost $28.50, and 4 persons per room are $26.96. Flights are Miami to Medina and Jeddah to Miami. Accommodations are Medina 4 nights and Mecca 4 nights. Spots are limited, so it is on a first-come, first-served basis. For details and to register, please visit www.meaningfulhajj.com/SoFloUmrah. For more information, please contact Alhikmat office at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158. Dawah and Interfaith Institute presents for the first time in U.S.A. Dawah and Interfaith training with education in world religions from religious professors and spiritual leaders of different faiths. This is a 6-month weekend course designed for brothers and sisters local, national, and international who are seeking to learn the importance of Dawah and better understanding of faith and cultures. For more information, please contact 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158. You can also contact via email at alhikmat@alhikmat.com or visit our website www.alhikmat.com. Alhikmat Services Florida USA invites you to join our tour from Miami to Turkey to Medina and Mecca, plus Ramadan, which is equivalent to the blessings of Hajj. They will be visiting historical sites of the Ottoman Empire, plus the Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, Topkapi Palace, plus more sacred sites. Breakfast and dinner will be included, but not the cost of visas. It will be from March 2nd, 2024 to March 13th, 2024, and led by Shaikh Shafayat. The price is yet to be announced, but for more information, you can contact Alhikmat office at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158. You can also email at alhikmat@alhikmat.com. Alhamdulillah, for free copies of the Holy Quran, contact Alhikmat Caribbean office at 1-868-325-8276. You can also follow us on Alhikmat TV, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. For more information, you can also contact Alhikmat's Florida USA office. You can visit our website at www.alhikmat.com or call us at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158.
Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah. His throne extends over the heaven.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Global Issues on Alhikmat TV 24/7 online. Once more, it is a blessing to have with us on today's show Sister Amany Shalabi. Welcome back to the show, Sister Amany.
Thank you.
And for those of you who have just tuned in, Sister Amany is a faculty member at the University of Sufism, and she's an expert at Islamic studies and chaplaincy training. Before we went on the short break, we were talking to Sister Amany about Sufism and spirituality, etc. So we wanted to find out from Sister Amany, first to begin, if someone wants to get in contact with you to get spiritual guidance or get involved in Sufism, etc., how do they go about doing that? And maybe if you can also let us know, do you do consultation with only sisters or brothers and sisters, as the case may be?
I can consult both gender, yes.
Okay.
And so there are several ways you can find me. You can go to the Sufi University website, university.com, or universalchaplaincy.com. That you can also reach me through there, or through finding the website of Muslim women organizations. So all of that, my contacts are there.
So this organization, Muslim Women Organization, where is that? Do you have members from South Florida or nationwide or international? How does that work?
It's more of a local, although sometimes we do receive universal calls, but mostly we serve as a local community in Orlando, Florida. The Sufi University is more universal. There are people who join the university from all over the world. So that's, if your audience are more outside the United States, then they can visit the Sufi University website and they can find me there, or they can also visit universalchaplaincy.com or sufiuniversity.com.
Excellent. Yeah, we, alhamdulillah, do have viewers, local, national, and international, especially with social media nowadays. Oh, wow, it's, the globe has become very small. And that's why we thought it's a blessing to have you with us on today's show. Tell us a little bit about the concept of spirituality nowadays. I know that is so important, and people need that so much in their lives nowadays. But what are some of the issues? I mean, generally we understand that anyone and everyone should get involved in spirituality and Sufism. But just for the benefit of people out there, generally speaking, if someone, what sort of issues can people contact you for? What is happening in their lives or what is not happening, and what are those issues, if it comes up, that they should contact you or they could contact you? Things like what?
Yeah, usually people seek help when they are facing challenges. So that is mostly when people seek personal consultation. But before that, a preventive way is to awaken ourselves spiritually, to understand the human being psychology. That Sufism is partially about understanding the human psychology. So in the Quran, there are 7 levels. 7 levels of the nafs. Nafs means the individual self or the ego. So there is 7 levels mentioned in the Quran. And we need to understand those 7 levels of awareness or consciousness. So for example, there is the commanding ego that commands us with selfishness. In a way, we all have that. And we all have our past trauma and our past experience that kind of shape our individual self. And we think we are that. We identify ourselves with that. but we're much more. Allah blew into the human being out of his own spirit, so we are much more. So that is the commanding ego is the lowest level of consciousness. Above it, there is the blaming self, which basically we are giving that gift of knowing when we deviate from Allah's way, we blame ourselves or we blame someone else, but we can get stuck there. So we learn to how to overcome that level to reach the level of an-nafs al-mulhama, or the inspiring self, and then we reach the level of an-nafs al-mutma'inna, the content or the safe, secured self. And then there is an-nafs al-radiya or an-nafs al-mardiyya. Those, the two levels are higher levels, or the pleasing self and the self that is pleased by Allah, made to be pleased. And then how to feel a whole self, how to reach that higher level. So in University of Sufism, we teach about these stations, we call them, or level of consciousness, and the tools of how to deal with these levels, how to distinguish the voice of shaitan, for example, from the voice of the nafs, from the inspiration that comes from Allah. Because we need to distinguish between those.
Yes, so Sister Amany, because from a realistic point of view, we know and you know that most people, unfortunately, most people do not just get into Sufism like that, which, I mean, I'm just saying generally, unless there's some sort of issues happening in their lives, it happens to be a means to turn them to spirituality. So would you say that if someone is going through, nowadays, I'm just going into two issues, nowadays in the world that we live into, two of the major issues that people have or they are stressed over happens to be financial issues, domestic issues. So are you saying if someone has financial issues or they have domestic issues, that they can contact you to get some spiritual calm and spiritual solution to those issues?
Yes, that is part of chaplaincy, is to provide guidance and comfort and guidance to those who are suffering from these types of problems.
Excellent. So that would also include if someone has experienced the passing away of someone near and dear to them. I'm sure that your sort of chaplaincy services will definitely be able to comfort them spiritually, as the case may be, inshallah.
Yeah, in fact, in the University of Sufism, we're offering a program to train chaplains on how to deal with death and dying and living with dignity. So that program is available because we need trained people everywhere, because few cannot counsel a lot of people, and the need is increasing in our world today. So probably every community need to train someone or a couple of people, every local community, so they can offer this type of counseling.
Excellent. I think that is so much needed in today's time, in today's world. It can prevent a lot of people from getting, mental depression and other type of problems in life. Well, Sister Amany Shalabi, we gotta go on a short break again. Time just goes talking to you. And for our viewers out there, we will be having another guest on our show. And after the short break, we'll be joining Sister Amany Shalabi, and that is Dr. Jaffi, and he's more known worldwide as Dr. Murshid Ibrahim Jaffi. He will be joining us after the short break, inshallah. So stay tuned. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation from a very spiritual and Sufism point, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, to whomsoever He wills. And whomsoever is given wisdom is certainly given a lot of good. Only the people of understanding will benefit from the reminder. Tune in to Alhikmat TV for khutbahs, lectures, and Islamic reminders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In the Quran, in chapter 5, verse 67, Allah tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik, wa illam taf'al, fama balagta risalatahu. Very deep. Allah tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to spread the message of the Quran. And he told the Prophet, and if you do not spread the message, you did not fulfill the mission of the messenger. So you and I are followers of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we can afford one Quran, help us join in distributing the Quran. So if you can't afford one Quran, do it. $3. 10 Quran, $30. 100 Quran, $300.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Global Issues on Alhikmat TV 24/7 online. Once more, it is a pleasure to have with us on today's program Sister Amany Shalabi. And as we told you before we went on the break, we have a special guest who is joining us, and he is with us, dear. Welcome to the show, Dr. Murshid Ibrahim Jaffi.
Very happy to be here with you. Thank you very much for having me.
Jazakallah. And to our viewers out there, Dr. Murshid Ibrahim Jaffi is an author, and he's a Sufi master healer, what do we call a spiritual guide, and he's also the founder of Jaffi Institute. He's the author of God's Way, Sufi Spiritual Healing. So we have a lot to learn from Dr. Murshid Ibrahim. And once more, welcome to the show, Dr. Ibrahim. So could you share with our viewers, before we get into the upcoming event that you're having, Shamsul Al-Haqiqa and Al-Qudsiyah, that is happening from November 17th to November 20th here in South Florida. Before we get into that, could you share with our viewers just a couple minutes or two of your background so our viewers worldwide will have a better idea of who we're talking to here?
Okay. Well, first of all, let me correct. The Jaffi Institute has become the University of Sufism. So if people want to look for it, they can look at University of Sufism or Institute of Spiritual Healing, and that's a better place to find it. Jaffi Institute was closed. So that's the first thing.
So it's Jaffi, it's University of Sufism.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. It's called the University of Sufism. Okay, beautiful.
Thank you. Just briefly for me, I'm a physician. I studied in Chicago. During that time, I saw a miracle happen in the ICU. A girl was dying of hepatitis. She was a Jewish girl. The rabbis came in and they did something out of the Talmud, which is an ancient book, where they put doves over her liver. She had chronic hepatitis or acute hepatitis, and the doves pulled the disease out of the girl's liver.
Wow.
And she made a miraculous recovery at that point.
That is interesting.
It was incredible. I'd never seen anything, and it shook my understanding of medicine, because I realized that there were truly, this was a ancient method, thousands of years old, that was able to cure and heal. Although later she did die, but it was able to cure and heal at that time what we were failing as physicians. So that was during my residency back in 1982, and I decided to let go. I mean, I got my my license and everything, but I decided I would travel the world trying to understand alternative forms of healing.
So speaking about traveling the world, I will interject and interact here, so audience will have a better audience and idea of what's going on. So where are you from originally, Dr. Ibrahim?
Jersey. I grew up in Chicago. I'm U.S. based.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so mashallah. So continue. I just wanted to have that question in so viewers will have an idea, where is Dr. Ibrahim from, inshallah.
So, I'm from the U.S. To be honest with you, I was brought up Jewish, and I found limits in Judaism. In other words, when I was studying it, I did not find the enlightenment I was seeking. I was seeking to understand really deep spiritual understandings that they were missing for me. And it wasn't that the people were bad or good. I just wanted something deeper. I was looking for a deeper understanding. So as a young boy, meaning when I was in my teens, I started studying everything I could find. At that time, Islam was not even on the charts in the U.S. It was all Hinduism and Buddhism and things coming to the West. So I looked into those. But again, for me personally, there was always something missing. There was something missing, which later I understood was the deep truth of God. And it wasn't until, I think, around 1996 that I met the Imam of Al-Aqsa Masjid. And when I sat with him for the first time, I felt like I really had discovered the truth. I really found the truth, which was in Islam. It was within the teachings of Islam. And once I found that, then everything began to change.
Saying that, Dr. Ibrahim, I would love to do a show only in asking you about how you became a Muslim, your journey to Islam, and what motivated you. So maybe in the future, inshallah, it would really, really be educational, motivational to our viewers to hear, as a Jewish physician, as a doctor, how you came into Islam and what motivated you. But now I know we're on the spiritual thing here today, and we want to get a little bit of the event that is coming up for our audience and for viewers. But please, inshallah, we will be contacting you for that. I would love that. That will be a very, very interesting motivational interview, inshallah. So continue. Let me don't stop you, but I want to keep that interruption going so our viewers out there would be thinking as a Jewish doctor now into Sufism, subhanallah. So we will be talking to you about that soon, inshallah. So continue.
When after traveling the world, I studied with many, many healers worldwide, shamans in Mexico and Philippines and Japan and India and many places throughout the world. I got sick myself, and at that time we were practicing healing, but it wasn't with Allah. It was healing from more energetic understanding of what was going on inside of people and trying to clear it. We were very successful. I mean, we had thousands and thousands of people healed of every kind of disease you can imagine. But all of a sudden, I got sick, and I went into basically heart failure. My heart started to give out. And at that time, my system didn't work. The system that had healed thousands of others did not work on me. So I started looking around, who heals the heart? You need a heart master. You need somebody who knows the heart.
Subhanallah.
Somebody who knows love.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you find that? Who carries that? So I looked into Christianity because Jesus was of the heart. I looked into bhakti yoga, different systems, but none of them worked. And then somebody told me about the Imam of Al-Aqsa, and that he was coming to the U.S., and that he was a Sufi also, and that he was an Islamic healer, and that maybe he could help me. So I said, okay, I'll go see him. And I went in to meet him in Santa Fe at the time. And I walked in, and he did not know anything about me. nothing, And he looked at me for a moment and he said, "You're dying." And I said, "Yes, I know." I said, I know I've got 6 months to live." I said, "How did you know that?" And he said, "When you're with Allah, Allah can show you anything, and He has shown me that you're dying and you have 6 months to live." And I said, "Exactly what I know." And I said, "Can Allah show you how to heal me? Does Allah show you to heal me?" And he went inside and he said, "Yes." He said, "Allah says you can heal, but you are dying because you don't know how to love. You have not learned the real love. The way you're living life is from your mind."
Allahu Akbar.
So, you want me to continue, or is that enough?
No. That is interesting. I think we really will have to also do on that journey to Islam. What brought you to Sufism? I think we're gonna have to get into another show. But today, because of time, would you like to share with our viewers and our audience worldwide about this event coming up and what's happening and what you plan to do and what you all, and I know Sister Amany said she's dealing on the woman's aspect of it, so what are you going to be guiding the people or the viewers on this spiritual program?
Okay. Well, in Islam, we talk about the unity. We say that we're slaves of God. But what I have found is that that's more metaphorical speaking. Like, we're slaves of God because, we were born to carry God's message, things like that. But have we realized it? Have we realized slavehood? Have we realized the love? Have we become true believers? Do we have Iman? Do we have Ihsan? Do we have Ikan? Do we have love in our hearts? And my experience is that most of us don't really have it. And the one thing we don't necessarily have is what we call Haqiqah, or Haqiqah al-Muhammadiyah. Haqiqah al-Muhammadiyah means the truth of God, that we carry that truth in our hearts, that we know the truth, that we live the truth. The truth of God is unity. The truth of God is oneness. God doesn't separate. God loves every part of His creation. When we kill each other, when we destroy each other, we're not following God's way. God wants us to carry the love, all of us. So we have to all learn to live from the love. We have to learn all from the truth of God. God stops wrongs. There are wrongs going on. There's no question the killing, the things that are going on are so absolutely wrong. It's wrong. But at the same time, God is not trying to destroy people. God wants everyone, Jews, Muslims, Palestinians, to learn to be in the unity of God. That's the real teaching. How do we worship God? How do we all sit together? When we're all with God, there's only love. There's no separation. There's no hatred. It's God. And all we can do is, how can we support each other to become better people? How can we learn to be better people? What can we bring to each other? Allah talks about, learning from the tribes. He created us in tribes so we can learn from each other. That's the unity. Are we learning from each other in tribes? Or are we saying, I'm different than you, or I want your land, or you took what I took, or whatever, and then we destroy each other? That is not God's message. That is the human ego, the human self. And really, it's the fire of Shaitan operating inside of people. So this teaching is about unity. Is Haqiqah, Shamsal, al-Haqiqah. It's learning to understand the nature of unity in the heart, that all of us as human beings, not only Muslims, but human beings, we have to become good human beings, all of us, and especially our leaders. Our leaders, the people we put in leadership, more than anybody needs to
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So this program coming up here on November 17th and to the 20th, is it going to be an in-person program, or everything is going to be on Zoom? What is happening?
I think it is definitely in person, and there may be a Zoom component to it. Amany, we have Zoom going on with that as well?
Yeah, I think it will be hybrid, both in person, and those who can't join in person, they can join through Zoom.
So then that brings us to the point that inshallah people worldwide can also participate in the spiritual guidance and the spiritual message that you have to offer. How do people register? How do people join?
Amany, can I turn that back to you, that question again? Because I'm more of a teacher and I don't handle
Well, you see that
logistics.
it was a good idea. I kept Sister Amany on here. So tell us, Sister Amany, how do people
I
join?
think
After listening to the show here, people who wants to join and register, what do they do?
they can go to Unity Peace Prayer website for the event, unitypeaceprayer.com. Let me make sure
Yeah,
we have prepared that.
unitypeaceprayer.com.
Yes. Mhm.
Good, 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 good. All right. So, I was telling Sister Amany in our conversation before the break, we were talking about the aspect of today's life and how we live in a very stressful world, and the need for Sufism. What would you like to share, Dr. Ibrahim, with our viewers? You're a Murshid, you're a spiritual healer, you're a spiritual guide, and I mean, you have experienced this, you have lived this. You are so different in this spiritual world because you were seeking truth, and Allah guided you to this. What would you recommend to people, especially who are having, domestic problems, they're having financial problems, they are all stressed out with, I don't know, business issues? What would you like to say to them as to how important it is for them to get into spirituality, which will be the solution to what they're going through?
Yeah, those are really good questions. Those are great questions. The world is in a situation it's never been in before. We've never had the amount of stress we have.
Truly.
And it's with COVID and war and everything else going on, it's very strong. The bottom line of it is that deep down, without the connection directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the ability to receive and hear and understand what Allah wants, we're like out at sea without a compass and without a GPS.
Subhanallah.
And if you've ever been on a boat, I'm a sailor, so if you're ever on a boat and you lose, you don't know where you are, it's very scary out there because you're, big waves and things are rocking your ship and you don't know where land is and you don't know where to go, you're in trouble. And unfortunately, we can turn to, Quran, and we can turn to the teachings. They will help us very much. But sometimes the Quran doesn't say to you, hey, you have to go east, west, or south. It tells you, you need to do it in a particular direction, but it doesn't tell you where that is. For that, you need a direct spiritual connection. You need to be able to pray and ask. And I'll tell you a story about this. I was sailing. I got stuck in a very bad harbor, a lot of sandbanks in the middle of the Bahamas. And I prayed. I said, I don't know how to get out of here. I was hitting sandbanks, and I thought, I'm going to get stuck here for a very long time, or I'm going to lose my boat. Also, there were a lot of sharks in that area, so I was afraid if I went down, I was going to get eaten.
Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
So I prayed. I said, Allah, I said, please, help me. And all of a sudden, as clear as I'm looking at you, there were like light that came into the water. And in the water, I could see, it was like a grid system. And I could see this grids of light. It was like it went this way, and it went this way, and it went this way. And I knew that this was Allah's response to me. And I started following that grid, just watching it and trusting it. And you know what? It took me out. It got me out of it.
Akbar. Subhanallah.
I couldn't believe it. And the next morning, I was harbored at a harbor, the kind of the bay, which I had initially been trying to get to. And the head of the guy who was I don't know what you call it, like the forest ranger, came down to the boat. He said, I want to ask you a question. He said, can you tell me how you got out of that bay? Because I've been here for 20, 30 years. Nobody gets out of that bay without help. And you were in, it has to be high tide, and you would have been stuck for a month. How did you do that? I've never seen anything like that. And I said, well, Well, if you would believe it, I prayed. This light appeared. I followed it, and it took me out. He looked at me for a long time, and he said, I would never, ever believe in anything like that, but with what happened, I have to believe it's true.
That is interesting. Wow. That is phenomenal. Allahu Akbar.
Okay, so this is, again, for people, when you are caught, if you think, you get caught and you don't have enough money, or you get caught in disease, or your marriage is struggling and falling apart, if you can turn to Allah and you will receive light and understanding that will show you how to fix your marriage. You will receive light and understanding that will show you how to heal your body, fix your financial problems. We need that. All of that is 100% aligned with Quranic teachings. It's the same. It's the same source. It doesn't come from Allah's mouth. Of course, it comes from the angels. But nevertheless, it's given to us.
Subhanallah. Jazakallah. Well, Dr. Murshid Ibrahim Jaffe, it was really, really a blessing to have you with us on this show. And Sister Amany Shalabi, we got like a minute again to close off. What would you like to say in 30 seconds, Sister Shalabi? And following that, Dr. Ibrahim.
I will just echo what Ibrahim said, that the love is really key to the Sufi way. So the love creates and the love heals. And the direct experience with Allah as the Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Wadud, the loving, the most compassionate, the especially compassionate, this direct experience is beyond the ritual. It requires full presence of the heart and vigilancy or taqwa, vigilancy to receive from God, to receive the direction from God, the vision, the strength, whatever God would gift you in a moment. You have to be open and receptive to it.
Inshallah. So, Dr. Ibrahim, share with us in 30 seconds or so. What would you like to share with our audience?
Just that we all need to reach the light of unity, which is the Haqiqah of Allah, or the Haqiqah al-Muhammadiyah, what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught. This is what we'll be teaching, of course, in the weekend. And honestly, I believe that we all need this. We all need to be able to access this light of Allah, this Haqiqah, at this time to navigate the dangerous waters of our world, which are becoming more dangerous by the moment.
Inshallah. So once more to our viewers out there, those who would like to participate on this unity, peace, prayer, spiritual upliftment, whatever you want to call it, for the weekend, November 17th to November 20th, they can contact you and Sister Amany. What was it again? Unity what? www.unity?
Unity Peace Prayer.
Yeah. Unity Peace Prayer, and they can find the details of this event coming up on November 17th throughout November 20th, the schedule, the agenda, and they can join online on Zoom, etc., from wherever in the world. And those who probably missed that, you can just contact us at Alhikmat office, email us, call us, and we'll probably guide you on to how to join and benefit from this spiritual upliftment. And again, to you, Sister Amany Shalabi and Dr. Ibrahim, Dr. Murshid Ibrahim Jaffe, Jazakallah. Thank you all very much for taking the time. I know you all are busy, you're professors, you're professionals, you're physician, and you're all lecturers and teachers. It takes a lot from you to come on this show. We really appreciate that very much. May Allah continue to bless you, guide you, and guide us all, and grant us all Jannah without reckoning. And again, Dr. Ibrahim, we're going to contact you. We want to get that interview on, your journey to Islam and how you got guided to Sufism and Islam. That might be very, very interesting on a different show, inshallah. So, viewers out there, thank you for tuning in to Alhikmat TV. It has been a pleasure talking to Dr. Murshid Ibrahim Jaffe and Sister Amany Shalabi, and always stay tuned to Alhikmat TV 24/7 online. Until then,
get everything you need at Fens Agri Center and Hardware Superstore, located at 243 Southern Main Road, Marabella. We carry a wide selection of hardware and agri products. Visit us in-store or call 650-3367.
Alhikmat Services Florida USA invites you to join our tour from Miami to Turkey to Medina and Mecca, plus Umrah Ramadan, which is equivalent to the blessings of Hajj. They will be visiting historical sites of the Ottoman Empire, plus the Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, Topkapi Palace, plus more sacred sites. Breakfast and dinner will be included, but not the cost of visas. It will be from March 2nd, 2024 to March 13th, 2024, and led by Shaikh Shafayat. The price is yet to be announced, but for more information, you can contact Alhikmat office at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158. You can also email at alhikmat@alhikmat.com. Casa Nuevo Investments in Guyana. Sharia Bacchus, CEO of Casa Nuevo Investments. Brokering of sales and rentals, commercial properties, industrial properties, residential properties, and land. Property management, property development, interior design, and real estate investment consultancy. For more information, please call at 954-326-9537 or 592-643-5948. You can also email at shariabacchus3@gmail.com. Dawah and Interfaith Institute presents for the first time in U.S.A. Dawah and Interfaith training with education in world religions from religious professors and spiritual leaders of different faiths. This is a 6-month weekend course designed for brothers and sisters local, national, and international who are seeking to learn the importance of Dawah and better understanding of faith and cultures. For more information, please contact 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158. You can also contact via email at alhikmat@alhikmat.com or visit our website www.alhikmat.com. Linda M. Kaplan, PA, an immigration law firm. Over 40 years of legal services in immigration and naturalization matters. Contact her at 305-670-7665. Once again, 305-670-7665, or email her at lk@lindakaplan.com or visit her website lindakaplan.com. You can also contact for more details the Alhikmat office at 954-986-0158 or 1-800-804-0267. You can also reach out to them via email at alhikmat@alhikmat.com, the website www.alhikmat.com, and visit the Alhikmat TV www.alhikmattv.com. Alhamdulillah, for free copies of the Holy Quran, contact Alhikmat Caribbean office at 1-868-325-8276. You can also follow us on Alhikmat TV, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. For more information, you can also contact Alhikmat's Florida USA office. You can visit our website at www.alhikmat.com or call us at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158.
Allah